I don't know if anybody's even going to pop up, but I want to talk about power. Um, how do you share? What is this? Oh, see, I'm still learning. I'm just trying to get some folks to come talk with me about power. Oh, hi, people. Hey, Gary. Let's see if we can get our other brother here to join us and see who else. I'm going to talk about some boxing too from the weekend. Let's talk about Usyk's debut. So I'm going to post this on Twitter right now. I just want to see what folks are talking about. But hello, if you just joined, drop a comment so I can know who is in here, and we can talk about a lot of stuff. We can talk about power. We can talk about boxing. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So let's see if anybody actually joins me. I don't know about this lighting. This is not. Maybe a little less. Is that better or worse? How's that? Maybe, I don't know. Get it straight. We'll see. I don't know about this lighting. Yeah, I'm practicing a little bit, Gary. Practicing a little. What's up, EJ Boxing? Let's talk about some. I'm glad you're in here. I want to get people's thoughts on the Usyk fight and his pro debut. I mean, his heavyweight debut, and how you think he matches up against the top heavyweights. And I want to talk about power too. I want some power people to jump up in here because I'm convinced that Tasha is a worse mom than Naaman Bryce's mom, Delonda, on The Wire. She's running up there with Precious Mama at this point. So, but yeah, we'll talk about some boxing. Hopefully some more boxing heads will join us. Maybe I'll go live on my Instagram and tell people to come on over so we could chit chat. I'm not a huge live person, so this is very new to me, but I said, I had so much fun doing the last one that I said I would start going live. So I'm also going to go live, on Instagram and tell people, see if I can get them to come on over and say what's up. What's up, Dante? I'm live. Haha, it fell. I'm live over on the YouTubes to talk about some boxing. And I want to talk about power. I'm telling you, Delonda is a worse mother than, Tasha is by far a worse mother than Delonda Bryce. She really is. Yeah, I agree with you, EJ. And I must say, I can't lie, I got caught all up in the hype too of waiting to talk about Usyk, and I just thought he was going to come through and steamroll Chaz Witherspoon, but he had to get some rounds in there. It might be the year of the underdog. Hello, Benny. If you are so inclined, jump over on my YouTube and say what's up. Well, there's got to be someone. They've got to bring a great hope into to kind of upset the apple cart in a sense, but I'm not gonna lie, I got caught up in the hype too. I'm ashamed of myself. I usually don't get caught up in the hype. The last time I really listened to my gut and I wasn't caught up in the hype was with Nonito Donaire. I remember when everybody was so up on Nonito Donaire and, oh, he's gonna be the next Pacquiao and all that. And I just wasn't feeling it. I just didn't see it. And, he turned out to be a good boxer, but, not what they talked about. He was going to be the next Pacquiao. Real Tizok 360 says ban Clarissa. What's up, Steph? Real Tizok, you think you should ban Clarissa Shields for the actions of someone in her camp? Yes, there should be a fine and some accountability, but you really think banning her is the answer? I'm not saying you're not entitled to your opinion, but I want to know why you think that it should be a hard ban. The floor is yours. Let us know. Felix Verdejo. Thank you, Dante. Dante Rose, who was in my Instagram live, said another fighter that was hyped up that didn't really kind of pan out was Felix Verdejo. That's right. And he got into a motorcycle accident. Stephanie Mouton, what's crack-a-lackin'? I want to see your face sometime and not just park in front of your house like a stalker. Maybe ban might be too far, but some accountability. I agree. There was a lot of bad all around for the whole thing. The whole thing was sad from the top to the bottom, from the commission and the lack of the security to the Bashir talking to her sister, to the person cheap shotting him in the back. There was enough bad all around for everybody to take their part. Aw, Steph, I can just park like a stalker in front of your house. Hello, sexy Libra. If you don't want to talk on the Instagram live, I am live on my YouTube channel too. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you would like to donate a super chat, hit the little green $sign in the bottom. And that's about that. What started me to talk on live tonight, it wasn't even about, look, I found this thing. It wasn't even so much to talk about boxing. We'll probably talk about some boxing depending on who jumps up in the chat. Real Tizog, while I talk about power a little bit, tell me what you think that the appropriate action would be against Clarissa Shields, given the fact that the person was part of her camp, since that's how you feel. But man, if you haven't watched Power this weekend, if you're a Power person and you haven't watched it yet, then I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to spoil it for you. But if you are a Power person, then, let me know. Oh, that was a bad look for women boxing. Bashir didn't. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Bashir is a 70-year-old man, 70, 71 years old. That was jacked up to kind of snuff him from the back. That just was, just to see all that blood on the floor and stuff, that was just bad business for everybody. Messed up the bag too. I just feel Clarissa's sister shouldn't have been in the mix at all. The fighters and the trainers can do all the trash talk. It's all part of talking to the game. You know what? Funny you should say that. Isn't Clarissa Shields' trainer John David Jackson? I need to go back and look at the video. I was so caught up in the whirlwind of what was cracking on the scale that I can't remember if I saw John David Jackson on the stage. I mean, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but I was just caught up in the swarm of the whole back and forth with Bashir and Clarissa's person who was on the stage, who was having the exchange, that I was so distracted by that I don't even know if John David, where John David Jackson was in relation to the event. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at the video. I only watched it like once because it was painful to see that. That's sad. Old man, women screaming back and forth. Man. Yeah, I think she should go over there and not And she has to do what she feels to be right. If I was in the situation, I'd probably pull up and at least go visit the man in the hospital. If you can see what's over my shoulder here. Uh-oh, did my phone die? Oh, well, there went my IG live. My phone died. But over my shoulder here, I went to screen Queen and Slim, Lena Waithe's new movie with directed by Melina Matsoukas. I went to a screening and I got this poster and they autographed it for me. So it was dope. But let's see, Bashir, what is the latest on him? I remember they said he was fine. And I saw a video with him and his fighter. She was at his bedside. And then they said that they had to rush him back because of, I can't remember why they rushed him back, but they had to rush him back to the hospital. And I don't know what the latest is with regards to that. If somebody can let me know, so I can keep the man in the thoughts. And brain bleed. Thank you, EJ Boxing. So that was the latest on that. Just sad all around. Real Tizok, since you're in here, the other boxing head that's in there, what did you think of Usyk's heavyweight debut this weekend? And then also we have to talk about Patrick Day too. It was just too much happening in boxing this week, just over the last couple weeks, just too much tragedy, potential tragedy, whatever. But EJ already told me what his thoughts were about Usyk's debut. But Real Tizog, what did you think of Usyk's debut this weekend? We need some more folks to come talk with us. He's okay. I think he still posts things on Facebook. Bashir, Errol Spence, that was horrible. We got Patrick Day, Errol Spence in a car crash. Bashir Ali, I guess, are you saying that he is out of the woods now? And then another fighter passed away this weekend, I thought I saw. I hate that my phone just died. I need to plug in my phone. I remember seeing a fighter or someone connected with boxing passed away this weekend, and I can't remember who it is. If somebody knows, tell me. We can keep that gentleman in our thoughts. Hold on, I'm pulling up the intranets to see who the other person is. Forgive me, y'all. But make sure you hit the like button. I need to grow this little channel. If I would have known when I started in media what I know now, I would have, done things differently. Power, yeah. Steph, did you watch the after show of Power? I mean, Tasha is trash. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying now we see why Ghost was trying to get up out and trying to get with Angela and go the straight life. The man is trying to get out the game and she keeps steadily pulling him back. Tasha turning into one of them baby mamas, how they say the baby mama dressed their son, how they wanted their baby father to look. She over there got Tariq. They planting drugs in the damn history teacher's trunk. And Lala, little brains spread out all over the floor. Good Lord. I mean, it was time for Lala to go, of course, because she was talking. She already signed the papers. But, yeah. What I didn't like about Lala this week was, man, they did a close-up on her hair. They had her flakes all up in the camera. The hair wasn't looking late. I love Lala, but I wasn't loving her hair this week. I could see that high-resolution camera work was not her friend this week. It was not her friend. Oh, okay. Bashir is still resting in the hospital. Whew. That stuff is tough. And what's even tougher about that when you're older and those type of injuries, even if you recover from the standard injuries that they are searching for, there's also the possibility like blood clots and just those unforeseen things that sometimes they forget to check about. Usyk impressed you. I didn't think he was going to win like that. I mean, I figured I knew he would win the fight, given that Chaz Witherspoon got that work from Seth Mitchell. Seth Mitchell took that L from Areola, and he was never to be seen again. He just disappeared. I remember when I was first started doing media, I think Areola versus who did I just say? Seth Mitchell. Seth Mitchell versus Chris Areola down in Fantasy Springs in Indio. That was like my first like big network fight that I had ever gone to. Like I'd gone to a couple of club cards, and then I went to a showbox card. That was my first TV card that I ever covered. And then I got to see Seth Mitchell versus Chris Areola live. And that was a wild night. Chris Areola was turned after that. He was turned. I thought Chaz made it more. I mean, I didn't think Chaz really had any chance, not even a puncher's chance of winning, but he went longer than I thought he would. He really did. So shout out to big boy underdogs. You always have a chance, thanks to Andy Ruiz. I saw that the tickets went on sale this weekend for the Ruiz versus Joshua rematch in Saudi. And people are telling me tickets are like $12,000, and that's just like regular ass seats, not even up on the apron seats. Y'all want to let me hold 12 G's? Hit the like button, hit the little green thing there, the little green thing with $. You can hit that, and you can donate to the Bad Culture TV Building Fund. I mean, if y'all want to send me to Saudi, I'm with the shits, but a couple dollars will do too. I won't turn down a couple dollars. Yeah, you never know. You never know. So now we've got this heavyweight, another heavyweight to enter into the picture. So we've got Usyk, who's new. We've got Ruiz, of course, and Joshua, of course, and Wilder, of course, and Fury, of course. Whatever happened to Murat Gassiev? He was supposed to make his pro debut at heavyweight. He got injured or whatever. Who else? Let me see. And then on the fringe, Areola is still fighting. You got Joseph Parker. You got Dylan White. We'll just see what happens with that. Let's see. AJ got his root. Yeah. Let's see. Who you got winning the rematch? Joshua versus Ruiz. Ooh, I'm still going to go with Ruiz because I just think that Ruiz posed something that Joshua wasn't accustomed to before. And, you can watch all the video and the tape and everything. Unless he just smashes him out the gate, I think we're going to see the same type of fight where it's a hand speed type of thing. We're going to see the same type of fight. See, Stephanie, you laughing because you know what I'm talking about. When you go back and watch Power, when they did them close-up scenes with Lala, when they were trying to take her boy away, and the cop got her to sign that paperwork to be a cooperating witness, that camera came in close. I wasn't seeing no edges. I was seeing it was looking like Christmas time in New York City, all up and through here, just Christmas time. The weather outside is frightful. That's what it was looking like close up on Lala's head. I'm like, come on now. Power's budget is too big for them to be playing out Lala like that. Nobody couldn't put no moisture on it. Some of the olive oil, the edge control was popping, but it was just flaking. I don't know what they was doing. Yeah, no. I felt good. I like Lala. Lala cool. But I wasn't feeling how they was all up on her head. I'm going to wash that gray right out of my hair. It was just looking bad. If you're going to do the daytime scene on the sister, don't play my good sis out like that. But yeah. Sorry, real Tizok. I'm not trying to be a contrarian, but I just think we're going to see more of the same. More of the same. I know this is not the most flattering light, y'all, but I'm still trying to figure this out because I'm not really like a live person like that. I'm trying to get into it, but what's up, Aunt? Aunt, look at Stephanie Mouton is in here. Your brother Gary is in here. We rocking with EJ Boxing Live. Real Tizok is in here. We talking about Usyk not living up to the hype this weekend and fringe heavyweight boxers. We talking about the heavyweight landscape. Me and Mr. EJ live and Real Tizok 360 are also talking about the rematch of Joshua versus Ruiz since the tickets went on sale today and what that might look like. Me and Stephanie Mouton talking about Power. I don't think you watch Power, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, man, that's what we talking about up in here on a Sunday night. I wanted to talk about Godfather of Harlem too. So if any of y'all are watching that, let me know. I had a chance to screen like the first 5 episodes of it, and it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Oh, Errol Spence. Yeah, we don't even know what's going to happen with Spence. His injuries were not life-threatening, but you don't know. All right, y'all, hold on. I got to plug my computer in. I'm going to kill one of these lights. My bad, y'all. My bad. We're going to have some mood lighting in here because I need to put a surge up in here and get over here. There we go. A little bit better there. Errol Spence could be done. Usyk backtracked on fighting Wilder real quick. After that pro day debut, I don't think that's not the work he needs at this point. I mean, what's up? I don't know. I'm trying, y'all. My bad. I'm going to learn where to do this lighting. I know this ain't the best lighting. Oh, no, I don't like that angle. No, I don't like that angle. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to keep this point of view. But, yeah, I hope they do some real comprehensive testing and whatnot on Spence, because we don't have any idea, even though he walked away from the crash, like what the long-term effects could be of that crash, because, sometimes the things are hidden. He's a very healthy, strong young man, but we just don't know. What did Aerosmith? Let me see. Seen a video of the crash. I'm gonna be honest. I only see the highlight of the Usyk fight. It's all right, Real Tizok. I mean, you didn't miss that much. It pretty much went as like I thought it would, but I was assuming it was going to end faster than that. Update on Patrick Day. He's still in a coma. He had to have emergency surgery. I believe he had a brain bleed. I got the update from my homie Jake Donovan, who works for Boxing Scene, and he has to. He's still in a coma, in a medically induced coma. Yeah, Chaz quit in the 7th round or knockdown. There's been just too much tragedy, and what a fight, what a sport like boxing. We get everything in real time because we use the internet and all those things, but damn, how often was this happening in the olden days when we didn't have these real-time updates and they would have these undercards and fighters fought for 15 rounds? And, how often was this happening in the old days? Is this a new phenomena? I guess you would have to have one of those encyclopedia minds like, like Doug Fisher, or, people who are just real true boxing historians like that. Or maybe even Bob Arum probably could cite some examples, or even love them or hate them, only in America. People who have been around the sport for a long, long, long time who really know, because I'm sure a lot of those stories back in the day where people get rushed out of ring are just not documented just because they didn't have the means to, or it wasn't like the main story. I mean, I'm sure we digged in some archives hard enough. We could probably find that. Thank you, EJ. Don King. I've had a long day of hanging out with my older brother. So, a little slow on the trigger. Indeed. Real Tizok, where you based? Or have you been watching Godfather of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker and Vincent D'Onofrio? There's a lot of cross-intersectionality because it's about the mob during that era, and there's a Muhammad Ali episode that's pretty good. When Muhammad Ali was first converting to Islam, And, he was talking his mess and they were like, you need to chill. And he's like, I'm not going to chill. So, get into that. I think it's episode 4, maybe. I think that's what they're up to now. Bumpy Johnson. EJC, you on point. Maybe we should be co-hosting. I'm lining them up and you bowling them down for me, fam. Thank you. Dylan White's B sample is not back. Really? Let me write that down. I'm going to have to look into that. Check it out. It's pretty good. It's on Epics. It's not bad, I must say. I was riveted because Forrest Whitaker's excellent. Vincent D'Onofrio will have you thinking he's still wearing a white cape these days. He is really, really good. I had a chance to interview Vincent D'Onofrio a few weeks ago before the show debuted, and he was a fantastic interview. I haven't transcribed it yet. And then I interviewed the young lady who plays Bumpy's wife in the series. So it was pretty cool. Let's see. So Aunt, hey Aunt, do you want me? Can I hold $12,000 so I can buy a couple tickets to the Ruiz Joshua rematch? Ooh, what's up, Dante Rose? My thoughts on WWE draft so far and Bayley turning heel. With the WWE draft, it's pretty much going as I expected to. I expected all the big names to go to the blue brand since it's on Fox. Bayley's heel turn, I would have liked something more dramatic because her haircut wasn't even dramatic enough to get the dun dun dun. It's not like when Sasha took off her wig and she had blue hair. Bayley just looks like Bayley's auntie now. She got like that helmet politician woman haircut. The shit just, they got Bayley looking like she wearing a helmet. And she had her same ass gear on. Her little sock puppet people came floating up. She should have had them. What would have been dope if she came out looking crazy and the sock puppets came up first and they were looking like, what's that painting? The Scream? If they were looking like that, or if they were looking like the mask from the movie, the horror movie, The Scream, that to me would have been more impactful. And they should have gave Bayley something like, if they were going to give her that granny ass haircut they gave her, they should have like gelled it and made it like a mohawk or just something crazy. Because it was just too vanilla. It was like, oh my God, I stole a piece of caramel from the grocery store without paying. I didn't think it was a full ass heel turn. But, I've been wanting Bayley to be a heel for a long time. And I hope that they really develop and make her a true bitch, like a true badass. KSI versus Paul Logan. I don't care about that fight. I'm going to go and cover it. It's an event. It's a spectacle. It's cool. I'll be there. It's here in Los Angeles. I'm just amazed that there's like an actual championship fight with Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard of this fight. Like, that's real trippy to me. Like, you go and I get the whole, I'm trying to attract younger people to the fight. These younger people ain't hardly going to buy no damn DAZN after watching that. Because the first time those dudes fought, they just did it straight through YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. And charged like $9.99 or something. What's to say that, they both have been content creators and have had their relationships with YouTube for a long time. What's to say this fight is not real popping and they go back to YouTube and like, hey, do you want to outbid Matchroom Boxing? Because I'd be interested in seeing what type of deal Eddie Hearn got them into. Like, do they have to do another fight? At the end of this, is Logan Paul's crazy looking brother, he's fighting on the undercard? Is he going to headline a card next? Like, what is this opening the gate for? So, let me see. Who's a sad case? Adrian Broner. I will say this about Adrian Broner. If I can't say nothing else about Adrian Broner, I will say that Adrian Broner ain't never ducked any fights. He never turned down any fights. He never turned down nothing but his collar. So whether you like Broner or not, I just don't think he ever turned down any fights or ducked any fights. So I'll say that about Broner. He's been pretty quiet because he's back in the Floyd good graces. They fall out every so often, but they're back in the good graces now. So yay, Broner. Broner is happy. Yay. Let me see. This looks like an update. I'm looking at Twitter too. And I see Lou DiBella's, not his personal Twitter account, but his DiBella Entertainment account tweeted out something just now. It says Patrick Day suffered a traumatic brain injury during his bout on Saturday night. He was rushed to Northwestern Memorial Hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. As of Sunday evening, Patrick is in a coma caused by the injury and is in extremely critical condition. On behalf of Patrick's team, we appreciate the outpouring of support, prayers, and offers of assistance from all corners of the boxing community. Updates will be provided as circumstances change. In the meantime, we ask that the privacy of Patrick and his family be respected during this difficult time. That is some sad stuff, man. Very, very sad. Well, we knew that about Broner with the Maidana fight. You know what I'm saying? I always thought when they were hovering around 130 or 135, he and Crawford were going to get it cracking, but then it didn't happen. He moved up. And then later, Broner moved up. Broner moved up first, and then Crawford moved up later. And we know now they're probably, well, I don't know. Let's never say never. I don't think it's a fight either of them want, but, for the right dollars, hell, for the right dollars, I might fight Broner. You feel me? It won't be a long fight, but, I'll do it for, they can give me like $750K. Some tickets for the family, and like a Tesla. And I'm with the shit. I'm with it. Let's see. Let's look at some other news today. Witherspoon, I was never hurt by Usyk. These are the stories coming out. Tyson Fury. Hey, well, let me ask you this. Since we're talking about KSI, Logan Paul, let's flip it on the other side and talk about the whole storyline that Tyson Fury is doing with WWE. And which is crazy to me, not because, Tyson Fury got that kind of personality for that. So it's a good fit. But what really trips me out about that whole situation is, money really talks. Because Vince McMahon, who owns WWE, his wife either still works for Trump or she used to work for Trump. And we know Bob Arum don't mess with Trump. And look, now they all getting money together. So, but in terms of crossover appeal, the whole thing with the Logan Paul KSI fight and Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard is Eddie Hearn is saying that he wants to bring new and younger fans to the sport. But what do you think is more effective? Do you think that's a more effective way, or is it a more effective way to have Tyson Fury doing this little fantasy match thing in Saudi Arabia that they're about to do with him and Braun Strowman? So, what do you think is the more effective method for bringing new fans to the sport of boxing? The WWE route with Tyson Fury, or the Logan Paul KSI DAZN put the big fight on the undercard route? I don't know. From the outside looking in, but I'm kind of biased because I love WWE. So I think the Tyson Fury approach is more effective in my humble opinion. But, I could be wrong. I'm 44. If you guys are younger than me, well, I'm almost 44. Or am I 44 now? I don't know. I stopped counting after a while. But, tell me, what do you think is the more effective route? Yeah, I'll be 44. I'm 44 now. I'll be 45 on my next birthday. Let's see. Broner is a 2-time champion, though he fills seats, self-promoting, got money, so not bad if you ask me. Broner basically a gatekeeper now. I agree. Broner doesn't seem to be broke. You know what's crazy about Broner? A lot of people try to clown Broner. If you listen to a lot of rap music, a lot of modern rap music, a lot of modern rappers name drop Broner. I hear Broner's name in lots of rap songs. And the only modern boxer even close to how often that he's name dropped in a song is Floyd. And he probably gets name dropped more than Floyd. I've heard Broner's name in a few songs. Let's see. Tyson sold out his career because he knew Wilder was going to whip his ass. Hey, well, we'll see what's going to happen. Now, see, I think WWE, I feel like they're missing an opportunity. If they're going to do this whole thing with Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman, and when Braun and Tyson were having their thing on the episode last week, Braun said, and when I beat you, it's going to be by a real 3 count, not that slow ass 10 count you had against Deontay Wilder, or however he said it. So what they should have had when they do this fight in Jeddah or wherever they're doing it in Saudi Arabia, they need to have Wilder in the audience, because this is WWE's on Fox now. More than likely, when they fight, it's going to be on Fox pay-per-view. I doubt it'd be ESPN pay-per-view, just because on the numbers. Because I think we can all confidently say whether we like who, no matter what fighter you like, I think we can say confidently that Wilder is selling more pay-per-views than Tyson Fury is. Am I right? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm all up for a little discourse. Make sure you're hitting the like button. I only see 2 likes, and I see more than 2 people in here. So if you're in here, make sure you hit the like button. And no, I don't mean he needs to go to WWE, but just if they're going to do a whole spectacle to help promote it, just have him ringside. Most people know Wilder. Wilder is, I think Wilder is more recognizable now than Tyson Fury, just off of the thing that went viral with him and Radio Raheem. Whether you know who he is specifically, or if he's a fighter, or, no matter what, you've seen a meme of some sort that says, to this day, to this day. I'm sure you couldn't put up a Tyson Fury meme, maybe the one of him getting up in the ring, but that's off of the, again, Wilder knocking him down. Wilder wanted to make some pop and sizzle reels. That's a good idea. He should did it to this day and splice in some clips from the first fight with Fury and have the Fury sitting up like the Undertaker. So, hey. No, I know. I agree. I think, ultimately they'll have their crash course. I'm very curious to see what happens with this Joshua Ruiz fight. Man, so let me ask you guys this. So let's just say that Ruiz wins a rematch with Anthony Joshua, and, Wilder beats Ortiz again, and he fights Fury, and he defeats Fury. Let's say he defeats Fury when they have their rematch. Do you think that Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder will fight each other, since they're both Heyman fighters? What do you guys think? Think it'll happen? Because they was looking real cute and cozy taking selfies together. I agree. I definitely think the winners of those 2 trails of fights needs to come together. So when you look at those mixtures of fighting, we've got Wilder, Ortiz, Tyson, Fury on that side, and then we've got the Joshua. Did I say that right? We've got Wilder, Ortiz, and Fury, kind of like on one side of a bracket, and then we've got Joshua and Ruiz on the other side of the bracket. Aside from Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz, what combinations of fights are also intriguing? Because no matter how these fights play out, I still rank Fury and Ruiz and Joshua. Well, we take out Wilder and Ruiz, I still think that Fury, Ortiz, Joshua are the top of the heavy rank. A top, no matter what, no matter how the fight ends, they still are at the top of the rankings in boxing. So after those, who comes after that? Dylan White, Joseph Parker, Usyk now. What comes after that? I really want to turn my Instagram live back on. I need to get my charger. Talk amongst yourselves. Here's a topic. Which of these heavyweight fights would you like to see next? Discuss while I get my charger. Well, I'm not going to get my charger, but I'm going to plug my phone in because I don't have any more plugs, and I don't feel like going to get a talks amongst yourselves, kids. I'm plugging my phone in. I don't know what's up with my charger. I'll come back over and talk to you guys. So, what did we come up with? I thought Dylan White still got caught using PEDs. Oh yeah, and Big Baby Miller. Didn't he slip through some loophole or something and he could come back like in 6 months? That 6 months should be over now. Does Big Baby Miller deserve another chance? That is the second time he got popped with something, with a banned substance. Does Big Baby Miller deserve another shot? What y'all think? We got a no, he doesn't from Real Talk 360. Hello, if you just tuned in, make sure you hit the like button. If you'd like to contribute to the super chat, hit the little green thing. Hit the green thing. You know, the green thing, you know, hook your girl up. Well, the thing with White, I think what was the thing with White? Did they find the banned substance before or after the fight? Big Baby needs to build himself up again. Until then, no. So what would be proper, oh, it's my dog. Hi, Billie Jean. What would be proper protocol, do you guys think, for someone like Big Baby Miller, who Hearn has made it clear that he wants to sign him and he's still interested in him? Like, should he get tested every month, every week? Like, what type of accountability does he need, or monitoring, and for how long? Hell, when the other Diaz brother popped for weed, they suspended him for like 2 years for some goddamn weed. I don't know about y'all, but I think I know that weed is not a performance enhancing drug. Weed is a sit you on your ass and eat some Doritos kind of drug. So I don't think anybody smoked a joint or smoked a blunt and went out in the ring and just started jacking somebody up. You know? Testing every month. I wonder how, I always hear the discussions of how expensive that drug testing is. I wonder how much that is every time they go out to test somebody. You know, Canelo's a cash cow right now, so, but not for long. At the rate that they're building up Fury and Wilder, it's going to be a race to see who's the biggest. How come DAZN doesn't have any pictures of their big three together? We got a whole Impossible Dream commercial that was tight the first time we saw it, but then we saw it like 115 times during the broadcast this weekend. I like the little commercial. You mean to tell me they can't get them three overpaid dudes together to take one picture together? You know, whole football teams get together and take pictures. Oh, if Ruiz knocks out AJ again, wow. Mexico stand up is all I can say. I need some tissue. Keep discussing. Andy Ruiz has a good thing going right now. He's got a really good thing going. Okay, now my phone is charging. But you know, Andy Ruiz is in a good position right now. If AJ beats Andy Ruiz, does Joshua return to that legendary status he has? Can he get back to that growing status that he had, given the current talent pool? Does a Ruiz win guarantee the Joshua or the Wilder fight? What do you guys think? Y'all quiet. If he beats Andrew Ruiz in a rematch, he can redeem himself. But if he loses again, yeah. What happens to Anthony Joshua? Because he's really young. He's a young guy. So if Ruiz beats him again, I mean, there's still plenty of fights for him. He could fight Dylan White again. He could fight Joseph Parker. He could fight Usyk. He could fight pretty much anybody. But the Wilder fight will for sure elude him. Yeah. None of the legends really took a loss like that in their prime. You're right. You're right. You know, one of the things that I've noticed here, I don't know. I mean, I know, obviously, I know you're here in Dante. I know you're here. Real Tizok, where are you based? Are you U.S. based? EJ, you are England based, if I remember correctly. I feel like sometime with DAZN, even though DAZN, has American fighters, I feel like something about the platform is just not resonating in the United States. And I can't put my finger on what it is because they have money to spend here. Like, even though they have a heavy faction in New York City, I think their office is at the World Trade Center. It's just like, it just doesn't, maybe it just doesn't resonate with the West Coast. Maybe they need some West Coast fighters, but it just seems like a big London outfit. And I don't know, when they've done cards here in Los Angeles, I just didn't feel that like, ooh, DAZN. And this is not a diss or anything, but it just doesn't, I just feel like it doesn't resonate. I feel like they need more diverse content. Maybe they need to hire me. Let me do a show over at DAZN. I'll have it popping. Trust me. Different point of view, different perspective from a female point of view from Los Angeles, from Inglewood. You think it was too soon for AJ to make his debut? You know, I remember the good old days when they used to say they didn't have to come over here. They had it popping in England. They didn't have to come over to the United States. But, now here we are. They're not getting the pub they should, the U.S. fighters on DAZN. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's a possibility. What do you think they're doing? Who do they have that? We'll just count Golovkin in the mix, even though Golovkin is from Kazakhstan, but he's like based here in California. So we'll say we've got Triple G. They've got what's the boy? Tevin Farmer. Who are their big names? U.S. fighters that are fighting on DAZN. Like, who's their guys? Their big guys are, I know they threw Ruiz in the commercial, but we know Ruiz is a Heyman fighter, so he's not fully in the bed like they're trying to lead you to believe in that Impossible Dream commercial. DAZN will never be bigger than Al Heyman or Top Rank in America. I agree. Well, you know what? Maybe we should ask some people. EJ, you're in London, right? Like, what is it like for you guys in terms of DAZN over there? Or like, do y'all have DAZN over there? Forgive me, I'm not even trying to sound ignorant, but I remember seeing people complaining they couldn't watch it in certain places, and I did make note of where they couldn't watch it. Do you guys watch it on Sky? Like, when there's a fight, do you watch Sky Sports? Do you watch DAZN? Like, how do you guys consume their fights? Yeah, Amanda Serrano, Daniel Jacobs, that's right. Daniel Jacobs, I mean, I love Daniel Jacobs. He's such a nice man. He's so polite. He's so down to earth. He's battled through a lot of adversity, but it was just something about him that just never quite resonated. It's kind of like that Sean Porter factor, although after that Spence fight, a lot more people know who Sean Porter is now. The brothers and Usyk fighter. What you mean, EJ? Al PBC pressing the brothers and Usyk fighter. Break that down for me, fam. Let me see. It's going to be hard to beat PBC on Fox and Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. What do you think of the platform as a whole? Do you feel like I feel like with ESPN, for example, even though it's not my number one way that I consume sports, I feel like I could find a lot of stuff on just on ESPN. Like I'm playing fantasy football and all sports and updates. I got UFC now, and highlights and all that. But oh, you guys don't have you guys how is Matchroom the face of DAZN, but England doesn't have DAZN? I don't understand that. Why don't you guys have it? Oh, I see. We only watch DAZN through Sky Sports. So, like, what if you wanted to watch, like, you got the brothers Ak and Barak who do the shows for DAZN? Like, if you wanted to watch the content that they film, like they do the thing, the pull up and all that stuff that they do in their content, their shows, their interviews. Like, if you wanted to consume that, like, how do you watch that, or can you even watch that? Like, I'm curious. I'm not even being shady or anything because here you just pop on the zone and watch the shit, and that's it. If AJ loses and Golovkin loses against Canelo, if they fight again, or if Canelo, let's play the devil's advocate. Let's say Canelo loses to Kovalev, and let's say Joshua loses again. Should the price of a DAZN go down? What y'all think? Eddie Hearn can be an arrogant prick, in your opinion, too. He can. He can. I think we all do. I think we all have the potential. But, he's a promoter. Promoter is going to promote no matter what. Oh, well, that sucks. They, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I was curious about that, how that worked. So only American audiences can see Ak and Barak, and when you guys want to watch the fights, you have to watch them on Sky Sports. Interesting. Interesting. I'm trying to learn. Here over the United States, we get in our little bubble and we just assume that the rest of the world sees the things like we see them. And I never even considered how other places are consuming the DAZN platform. I see. So basically, we have DAZN so we could see. Well, shit. Why don't I just get Sky Sports? Or where's the benefit? I don't think it would drop the price because Canelo got that $300+ million deal. How many fights was Canelo's deal? It's like 10 fights or just something crazy. And he's fought, what, 3 now under the new deal? Because the first 2 Golovkin fights were not on DAZN. The Rocky Fielding fight was. The Daniel Jacobs fight was. The Kovalev fight is DAZN. How many fights is that? Who the hell is he going to fight? Who do y'all think Canelo is going to fight after this? Even if he does win the Kovalev fight and goes back down to fight Golovkin, that's still a hell of more fights that he has to fight. What's he going to do? Go down to welterweight and fight Spence? God willing, Spence is okay. What about Khan? I thought Khan and Kell Brook were supposed to be talking about something. So yeah, the Fielding fight, the Jacobs fight, now the Kovalev fight. That's only fight number 3. 3 fights, 3 weight classes? Super middle, light heavyweight. I don't know. What does this do for boxing, the jumping around from weight classes? And is it Canelo daring to be great, or does it kind of bastardize the belt? What do you guys think? It's about money. We pay for Sky Sports. We wouldn't pay for DAZN too. Oh no, I get that. I get that. Sky is like your premium channel, like Showtime or HBO would be for us here. Exactly, Aunt. That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say he wins the fight against Kovalev. I kind of tip it in his favor. Like, what next? I think jumping down in weight could be bad. Look what happened to Jones when he went. Yeah. Look what happened to Chad Dawson when he fought. Who put the beats on Chad Dawson? Andre Ward. When Chad Dawson went to fight Andre Ward. Yeah, he's franchise title. Are the days gone where fighters wanted to be undisputed? Is that done? Is it just now? What you weigh this week? What you weigh this week? 147, 152, 160. Yeah. Let's fight at 160. It's crazy. It's crazy. We just gonna have like a lotto, like spin the wheel. Boom. It's on light heavyweight. Woo! And then that's a weight class. That's how you choose your weight classes. Y'all must have forgot. I love Roy Jones Jr. I miss hearing him on a broadcast table. That's my guy. I like Roy Jones. So remember, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're over here, you probably already subscribed, but subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the little button, the donate button, and help keep Bad Culture TV growing. Canelo still hasn't beaten an undefeated fighter here. He had the never fought the undefeated fighter except for Floyd. I think you're correct about that. Let's see. Because when he fought Trout was undefeated because Trout was a champ. Because Trout had beaten Cotto. So let's see. Trout and Floyd are the only undefeated fighters that Canelo ever fought. Austin Trout was also undefeated. Boy, and they wore Austin Trout out. Every time we saw a highlight film, it was Austin Trout looking like Bambi on the ice when he lost to Canelo. What happened to Marcos Maidana? Remember they said Marcos Maidana was going to do a little comeback, and then all of a sudden it got squashed and they weren't doing it anymore. If I was Maidana, I wouldn't come back and fight. He went back to where he's from, where the cost of living was very cheap, and he probably still got all his money. Shoot, they showed Maidana was still eating cup of noodles. Like he ain't got no money. That's how you stay rich. Should women's boxing be paid as much as the same as men in boxing? Don't ask me those kind of questions. I think that the pay gap narrower when it's guys who are gatekeepers. Don't ask me them questions. Let me marinate on that, EJ. I told you I've been kicking it all day with my brother. I ain't quick on the trigger like that. Let me put some thought into that before y'all be pulling out a piece of my damn video and the whole Lions Den boxing community done made a video because Jay's a black girl said that women shouldn't be making what men should be making, or women should be making the same, or men should be making more. And I have all these trolls up in my stuff. I got to think about that. My hot take reaction to that is no, because they're not generating the same income and they're not fighting full 3-minute rounds. That's my immediate hot take. Response to that, because I know people hate when you use the example, but UFC, women fighters put more asses in seats. I mean, women's boxing is growing for sure. I love to see the women get out there. I love Franchon Cruz to death. And I like to see when the women get out there, but until they're generating the same income that men are generating, then no, I don't think so. That's my hot take response. So if y'all make a video, make sure you include my whole response, not just the controversy starting part. Ooh, I see 7 people in here, but I don't see 7 thumbs up. So if you're new in here or you just popped up, Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Wow, we're already an hour in. You know, it's funny. This is only the second time, maybe. Yeah, this is only the second time that I did a live stream on my YouTube channel, and I really like it. I see why a lot of the other people are into it. I like talking to you guys because sometimes I want to talk about boxing, and on Twitter it could be a bit overwhelming, and everybody is a warrior on Twitter, and I got to be all kind of bitches and all this kind of stuff or have an opinion. I don't like that. I like this. I feel like I'm talking directly to you guys, and you can see my intention in that when I'm responding. I'm not just being a troll. Clarissa versus Cecilia Breakus? I don't know. Is Tom still working with her? I'm sure he is, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, I saw an eighth person. They done popped in and popped out. Come back. Come back, people, and talk to me. My daughter is on a college trip. I need people to talk to. I want to talk about boxing. Triple G is overrated. Yeah. I mean, you know, when I used to do the podcast back in the day with Ryan Bivens, who went by Sweet Boxing, shout out to Ryan. One of Ryan's arguments that he used to always have, and he was very well versed on female boxing, boxing as a whole. Hey, eighth person, hit the like button and drop a super chat on the channel. Ryan used to say all the time that this was the weakest middleweight division of all time. And that was, let's see, we stopped doing the Ruckus podcast together in maybe 2016 or 2015. And at that time, the middleweight division was Sergio Martinez. I want to say maybe Angulo. No, Angulo was 154. I know it was Sergio Martinez and Cotto. Chavez Jr. was struggling to get down into middleweight. Austin Trout. I can't remember all around that time. And so, we have the Charlos now. We've got Jermall Charlo, not Jermell Charlo. Jermall Charlo, Canelo, Billy Joe moved up. And whomever else. I have to pull up the boxing rankings. Forgive me. I should know this stuff off of the top of my head, but you know what I'm saying? My head is like a glass and you can only fit so much at one time. So we've got Jermall Charlo, Canelo, Ryota Murata, and Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, while I've got you in here, we got some fresh folks in here from when I was talking about the other day. What do you guys think about Demetrius Andrade kind of essentially being squeezed out of the middleweight picture? Canelo said on the conference call this week he doesn't want to fight him, doesn't pose a threat, he finds him boring. But he has a belt. And why wouldn't you want to fight a fighter that, if you think he doesn't pose a threat, then go out there, knock his ass out, get it over with? What are you guys' thoughts on Demetrius Andrade? Let me know. Is he the most scintillating fighter that I've ever seen? No, but I don't think he's boring. I've seen worse. Hell, I mean, I like Bivol and I give Bivol the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, that was a painful fight. Robert Easter's last fight was a painful fight to watch. Triple G was always a hype job. People just hated Canelo so much they were gassing him up. Good point. Yep, and during that time, Triple G was all about unifying, and then came the Charlos and Andrade. Yeah, I remember when everything bouts. I need bouts. Bouts, man, I want all the bouts, undisputed bouts. And then I remember talking to Tom Leffler at that time, and, it was like a joke, the whole give me my belt thing. And I remember when Triple G used to do those interviews, I remember he did an interview with my girl, Michelle Phelps, where he was like, I want all the belts. Tell Canelo to bring me my belt. And I think that channel, I think that interview might be like one of her more popular interviews. And then I remember saying to Tom Leffler, Now, when it gets close to the holidays, when people are collecting clothes for, slightly loved clothes for the less fortunate. Oh, EJ, you're so sweet. I absolutely will join you on your show one day. Anytime. Just let me know when. Yay, my first international super chat. I wish I had some sound effects. That's so cool. Thank you. That's so kind. I just remember I said to Tom, I'm like, hey, you should be like kind of do a little trollish with it and have a belt drive and have people donate belts. And then, also kind of do it in a place where the kids have the pants hanging off their ass and everybody bring belts. Everybody takes, bring Triple G a belt and he takes pictures with the kids with all these damn belts. And it would have been pretty funny. But, they ended up not doing that. But then after that, it was, oh, I don't care about belts. I just want the best fights. And then after that, it was, ooh, Abel Sanchez, you're fired because I want all my money. And then now, belts matter again. It's like going through the 7 stages of grief. They matter, they don't matter. Do belts matter? Do belts really matter in this day and age? Do they? I think they matter. It would seem to me if you got into a sport that ultimately your end goal is to get in the Hall of Fame, because anybody who ever got into a career solely for making money fell short. It's like if I go to college and say I want to be a doctor because I know doctors get paid. I'm never going to finish. It's never going to happen. So, do belts matter? Do you think? I don't know. I think they matter. If I was an athlete, I'd want to be the pinnacle and part of the history of my sport. And I think belts matter. I want to be in the Hall of Fame. Nobody's going to get in the Hall of Fame for saying, oh, you made $500 million in one fight. The only fighter who could do that is Floyd. And the next Hall of Fame voting period, Floyd is on the ballot. Is there anyone who thinks Floyd's not going to make it first round, first person picked into the Hall of Fame? They don't even they shouldn't even have to have a ballot. See? I like you, real Tizok. You are a very rational person. We aren't in total agreement on every single thing, but you are a rational person to communicate with, and salute to you. That's another problem with Twitter too. You can't even have any kind of healthy discussion on Twitter these days. And I'm not even talking about just how culturally sensitive we are here in the United States, but it's just like you can't even have a discussion, or else you're a hater just because you might have an opinion that's contrary to someone else's opinion. That's whack. And we all thought the same thing. You know how boring that would be? It would be like the Matrix when all the people were like the batteries in the little plastic bags, looking like they were still in the womb. Ask Terrence Crawford if belts matter. Terrence won his belts. He said he won his belts. He just needs some opponents. If what's up for Crawford? You know what I'm saying? He never got the chance to get the Pacquiao fight when they were both on Top Rank, so he's definitely not getting it now. And then Spence, if Spence is completely healed and everything is okay, Spence was already committed to fighting Danny Garcia. And so maybe after that, that'd be a long way away. But now with his injury, that's pushing all that back. So in the meantime, what happens to Terrence Crawford? Who's he fight? Let's look at the 147-pound division. Let's see who's not a PBC fighter who's in the top of the ranks of the 147-pound division. Like no one. Under the WBC, it's Danny Garcia, Yordenis Ugas, Jesse Vargas, I think, is a DAZN fighter. And we know that Bob Arum's not going to let him fight. No, they already fought. He didn't even need to fight Jesse Vargas. Keith Thurman, Lipin Yates, Kurdatiro Abdukakarov, excuse me for butchering the Russian name. Amir Khan, he already fought him. Josecito Lopez. Lopez ain't getting a Crawford fight. David Avanesian and Jamal James. That's the top 10 of the WBC. In the WBA, You've got Pacquiao and Virgil Ortiz, because you know the WBA gives everybody and they mama a belt. Like everybody is the WBA welterweight champion. Shit, I might be a WBA champion for all I know. Alexander Besputin, Radzbab Batiev. I don't know who that is. And I don't know who Alexander Besputin is. So they likely are not PBC fighters, but I could be wrong. PBC has so many fighters. Yordenis Ugas, Danny Garcia, Jamal James, Mikey Garcia. Well, Mikey Garcia is probably going to get the Pacquiao fight. Nursultan Zangbayan, Gabriel Maestre, Cody Crawley, and Connor Benn. So that's the WBA. In the IBF, you've got Spence, Kudryatilo Abdukwaksarov, nobody at number 2, Sergey Lipinets, Garcia, Kustio Clayton, David Avanesian, Ijivgas Kavalauskas, I think that's Mean Machine, Kita Obara, Rashidi Ellis, and Rico Muller. And then for the WBO, where Crawford is the champ, Kavalauskas, who is Mean Machine, that'll probably be his next fight because that's a mandatory challenger. Jesse Vargas, he already fought Vargas, so they're not going to fight. Garcia, Lipinets, they're PBC fighters or Heyman fighters. Mika Shonena, Luis Alberto Veron, Kustio Clayton, Mikhail Zuski, Diego Ramirez, and Mikey Garcia. So, what of those people do you think is viable? No, Crawford's 147. Crawford is the 147 champion. Tizog. Crawford moved up after he gave that work, Postol, and he was the undisputed champion at 140. You know, then he moved up, and then Regis Prograis slid up in there. Regis Prograis, that's going to be a good fight that he's got coming up against Josh Taylor on the World Boxing Super Series. Shout out to Creoles. Manny Pacquiao will take that Errol Spence fight now, trust me. You know, Mikey Garcia is a little sneaky character because he's not like, he works with Al Heyman, but he still kind of has his own decision making. Look at how he slid in out of nowhere and got the Spence fight and started that whole narrative with the Spence fight. Like, who would have predicted that was the fight we were going to get? That was kind of, you know, Mikey Garcia is always making his move. So I would not be surprised at all if Mikey Garcia and Pacquiao is the next fight. Do you know how sick Bob Arum will be if that's the next fight? He had both Pacquiao and Garcia. And then they go somewhere else and fight each other for big time money. They could do that fight in Texas. That fight would make some good money. But, you know, we know Pacquiao ain't going to fight no Texas. Pacquiao's going to fight in Las Vegas. So, but it would be dope if it was in Texas. It would be dope. I was dreaming of a Pacquiao Spence fight at the Dallas Stadium. I was dreaming of that. I really like going to Dallas. I had such a good time when Spence fought Garcia in Dallas. So I wouldn't be surprised if not Danny Garcia. Did I say Danny Garcia? Y'all know him. Oh, Mikey Garcia, if he slid in there and fought Pacquiao. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Hello, 9 people. Hey, if you're just now joining, hit the like button. And if you want to drop some coins on the super chat, ching, ching, you know, help your girl out. We're talking about Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia and the 147-pound division. And we're talking about what happens to Crawford. You know, we're keeping Errol Spence in our good thoughts and prayers. You know, Thurman is still out there. Sean Porter, you know, Sean Porter made a lot of new fans after that fight. So, you know, Sean Porter might be a real viable challenge for somebody. Put a few more asses in seats. You know, what do you think? If you just now joined me, make sure you hit the like button. And if you like, hit the little green thing that looks like a $sign. Click on that and, you know, donate to the channel. Because, you know, it's expensive in California. Gas is $4.50 a gallon here. Gas is really expensive. Welterweight division has a lot of talent. It's packed up in there. Mikey should fight Crawford before Pac, in my opinion. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. I know they talked about it for a while, and then it just seemed like the dialogue on that went dead. I don't know. I'd like to see it. That was a good fight with him. Spence put the beats on Mikey Garcia in that fight. That was a good fight. I had a good time in Dallas going to that fight. My good brother was there. I got to see my brother. I got to see a good fight. I had a great time fight week. I ate some good barbecue. Dallas hospitality was amazing. I like Dallas. Dallas is cool. Dallas is like the best parts of Los Angeles. Mikey leapfrogging over Spence to pack with Sec. Yeah, yeah, but now that if as long as Spence is okay, he's gonna have to take some time off. And then they've already betrothed him to Danny Garcia. I just don't understand that. I don't understand and it's not even, I'm not dissing Danny Garcia. I'm not a Danny Garcia hater or any of that. But I just don't understand that. Like, I mean, I'm not in that seat making those decisions, but I just don't understand what that does for Spence. Spence is a champ. Why doesn't he get to fight the cash cow? Is Danny putting out? I mean, Danny, I'm not going to front on Danny and act like nobody likes to watch him fight. But after losing to Thurman and Porter, you get the champ. That's what we doing. And it's definitely not a Danny diss at all. Maybe make it like Survivor. He'd fight Danny, beat him, fight Porter or Thurman. I think Danny's still in the game because he never really got beat up. That's true. It's not like somebody knocked Danny out and put him down. Danny is going to be a formidable challenge for anyone. So, why not? People always say Spence doesn't have a whole lot of names on his resume, so why not? I remember once upon a time when Danny was that dude, and he went in there and he beat Khan, and he beat, who did he beat before Khan? I remember Danny was just out there just shocking people. Let me go to Danny Garcia. Danny Oscar Garcia. I probably speak more Spanish than him. Yeah, when he beat Matisse, that's what it was. When he had the run where he beat Khan and Matisse. Man, that was the good old days when the undercard was still good. He fought Matisse on the undercard of the Floyd card. Let me go back to that card and see who all fought on that card. Just 1 second, kids. I remember going to that, and that was a good ass fight card. I remember that. I do remember that. That was a great card. Here we go. Let's see here. That was November. I'm retarded. September 14th, 2003. And that was in Las Vegas because I went to that fight. And on that card was, is this it? I think this is it. I remember that was a long ass card. I know that. Wow. What's crazy? The same night of that card, Kid Galahad was fighting James Dickens, and Chris Eubanks and Huey Fury were all fighting on the same night. That's crazy. That's right. Danny Garcia fought Matisse on the undercard of Floyd versus Canelo. Carlos Molina fought Ishe Smith. Pablo Cesar Cano fought Ashley Theophane. Ronald Gavril fought Deion Savage. Chris Pearson fought Josh Williams. Luis Cuba Arias fought James Winchester, and Linnell Bellows. All those TMT fighters fought on that undercard. That was back in the day when the TMT fighters still wore the tracksuits. That was a stacked card. That was a good ass card. Very, very good card. Also happening that same night, that's crazy, September 2013, Joshua Clottey was fighting Deshaun Johnson, and Chris Algieri was fighting Wilfredo Acuna. Constantine Benjanaro fought Excel Holmes, and super welterweight Wendy Toussaint fought Corey Boyd. It was a women's card that night. That's crazy. The same fights. Why would anyone stage a fight on the same night that Floyd was fighting? If you're like, In England it doesn't matter because England has huge audiences. So they could go out. Shakur, I'm looking at this thing and September 14, 2013, it says Stevenson fought Baruz Khan Tamarikhan. That's when he was still an amateur. He fought the same night. He was fighting in Kiev, Russia, the same night. Little Shakur Stevenson. Well, damn, who else was fighting that night, that fateful night, September 14, 2013, when Floyd fought Canelo? Anybody else we know fought that same night? That was a packed night. Now, a lot of fights going on over in different countries, but yeah, those were the fights that were going on that night. Danny and Porter are just two sides of the same coin. They would have been in each other's situations. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Porter's your favorite welterweight. Porter is one of my favorite people in boxing. I like him. I think he's a sweetheart. Nice guy. Very nice guy. All those guys are nice. At least they're nice to me. I've always had pleasant exchanges from everyone from Crawford to Spence to Porter to Thurman to Danny Garcia. Hell, even crazy ass Broner. He's never been disrespectful to me. I've been at the same press conferences and watched Broner give somebody the blues and then turn right next to me and be like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And and when I've gotten frustrated with him in an interview, you might have heard me in a scrum before say, Broner, what do you want from us? You say we don't cover you fairly, but when we're here, you don't give us anything. So what do you want us to do? If you don't like the narrative, control the narrative. It's that simple. But and he was still nice guy. Pacquiao, very nice. Very, very interesting person to talk to. He's very mesmerizing. I've been with talking to a lot of these guys for a long time now. I started in 2012. I don't know how many people realize that. A lot of people who watch the podcast or listen to the podcast with me and Michelle, Raging Babe, they know that I was around then, but I was around even before that. I like Porter's heart too. Porter's going to go out there and give it his all. But yeah, it's kind of amazing to see the trajectory of even Jermall Charlo. I think I didn't interview Jermall back in the day, but I did interview Jermell Charlo in like 2012. And he was still pretty shy, I would say, about talking to the press. And so it's kind of amazing to see the kind of trajectory of these guys, of them and Spence and Wilder and just all these guys, just seeing the evolution of how comfortable they are even talking to the press. Because I remember when they wouldn't talk to the press at all. I have this little brief interview that I did with Crawford once many years ago. He was I think it was when Khan fought Devin Alexander. And I caught him in the corner and he was real shy, very, very nice, but just real shy. And his interviewing skills have grown immensely and he's getting really good talking to the press. Man, if you want to see some funny stuff, you should see some old interviews with Andre Ward. Andre Ward wasn't the Andre Ward that we know now. What's up, Jamal Davis? Thank you for loving my channel. I love that you love my channel. Hit the like button and stay and chat with us. Let's talk about some stuff. We can talk about boxing. We can talk entertainment. We can talk power. We could talk crazy ass kids. If you got kids, we can talk about those. We can talk about anything but politics and religion. I don't feel like talking about none of that. But anything else, let's talk. Tank Davis. You know what? He's getting better because, remember, he was wilding out for a while. So they had to, snatch him back into the fold real quick, but he was tripping. So he talks more, Tank is always, he's talking more. He's talking more. But usually Leonard Ellerby does the talking for him. Every time I do an interview with Leonard Ellerby, Leonard's a very friendly guy. And he gets a lot of grief online, but Leonard is a very nice man, very approachable by the fans, the other boxers. Leonard is that dude. And whenever I do interviews with Leonard, people love those interviews, or they just love to talk about Leonard's nose. The craziest comment I ever saw about Leonard Ellerby's nose is somebody said his nose looked like a fleur de lis, the Saints symbol. I'm like, you people are foul. Leave that black man alone. Got them good African features. Power to the people. A prospect we should keep our eye on? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to have to go back and look over the year 2019 and see what prospects have jumped out to me. That's a good question because we're in the last quarter of the year. We're already in October. So I should start thinking about year-end stuff and compiling some lists. Maybe I'll do a live, at the end of the year and talk about some of my favorites, knockouts and prospects and, do the usual end of the year stuff. So thank you, Jamal Davis. Good question. Good question. I saw an email that they're going to order that Barrios is going to fight again. I didn't think Barrios won that fight on the undercard of Spence Porter. So we're going to get that rematch. Let's see. What can I ask you guys? Oh, well, I'll lob you guys a little softball for now. Who is your favorite fighter that's active right now? Not your favorite fighter of all time. So no Muhammad Ali's, no Joe Lewis's, no Rocky Marciano, no Rocky Marcianos, but people who are actually fighting right now. Who's your favorite fighter? Boxing is making a comeback. The narrative a little bit for some time was that boxing was losing its athletes to other sports like football and track and all those other things. Real Tizak, you're hilarious. But folks it looks like fighters are coming back to the fold. You know what? Well, I've got all 9 of you in here. What are your thoughts on Ryan Garcia? Is he the real thing or is he a Diet Coke? Real Coke, Diet Coke. Oh, I love Regis Prograis. I can't wait to watch his fight next weekend. Oh, my bad, Jamal. You retracted that. My bad. Got love for Regis Prograis. He's Creole like I am. Louisiana stand up. Yeah, Ryan Garcia. What do you guys think about this kid? Does he have the goods? I hope he doesn't get jinxed because, every time people start pushing a fighter too hard, was like that too. Well, at least he won some things. I remember when Richard Schaefer was real high on Abner Mares, and he was like, Abner Mares is the best pound-for-pound fighter, and then he went out and he got knocked out in the first round. That was before Brandon Rios fought Manny Pacquiao back in the day. Regis Prograis, yeah, I feel you. Real Tizak, I feel you. He's, man, if he blows through his opponent in this finale of the World Boxing Super Series, we're going to really see. He's going to have to move up, though, because there's really no more challenges for him at 140, I don't think. I'd have to look at 135. Better Biev is getting ready to fight in Philly. Isn't he getting ready to fight Gvozdyk? My girl, Raging Babe, is working on the promo stuff in Philly for the Better Biev Gvozdyk fight. That's going to be a good ass fight. I wish I could have gone out to Philly to be with her and watch that fight live. That fight is going to be very, very good. Very, very good. They are fighting in Philadelphia next weekend for the WBC light heavyweight and the IBF light heavyweight. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a really good fight. Yeah, I like Better Biev and Gvozdyk. That's going to be a good fight. I hope it's a good stylistic makeup matchup. That'll be real cool. Chris Colbert. That's who we. Okay, Aunt. All right. We're going to keep our eye out on young Chris Colbert. If you are just now joining the live stream, hello. I'm Jay. I'm in Inglewood in my room. That's Queen and Sloan. That's Daniel Kaluuya back here on the poster. Welcome. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the little green dollar sign and donate to the channel. I like that too. But man, when the best thing Ryan Garcia did was leaving the where he was and going down there to San Diego and down to Mexico to train with Canelo and Chepo Reynoso in the squad. That was the best thing he could have done because he needed that. You know, from what I understand, they have a very disciplined environment. And that was a great, great move because he was looking a little sidetrack. I mean, hell, look at all the distractions he has now with girls, with baby mamas and mama and the people fighting and a mess. Ryan Garcia said he gives his baby mama $7K in child support a month. $7K. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. But yeah, he's in the right environment down there with Canelo and Chepo and Eddie Reynoso. Nikita Ababi. I'm sorry, Jamal. If you can you type that phonetically? How do you say that? Ababe? Because the IY makes me think like Sergey. So Ababe? Is that how you say that? Nikita Ababe from Brooklyn? Abab Y or Bobby? You know, get your girl together. I don't want to be out there in the streets talking to these fighters and jack their names up. Get me right. Because you never know when I might run into them. Get me together. I'm trying to see. It's a quiet night on Twitter. What are folks talking about? People are, of course, Fury. They're talking about Carl Frampton and Warrington. This is one of the BK or the London people that I follow. Not too much being talked. Better be a Gvozdyk fight. Not a whole lot of boxing talk on the timeline, but then again, it is Sunday. And it wasn't that a huge Ababi. Oh, okay, Ababi. Okay, I wasn't that about. What did I say? Ababi, like Sergey? Ababe? Ababi. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me see. Let me pull up the boxing schedule and see what we have to look forward to next weekend. You know we have the Regis Prograis fight that's going to be taking place across the pond for the World Boxing Super Series finale. Let's see what else we've got next weekend. So we've got Gvozdyk Beterbiev. This is going to be on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. Louis Collazo and Kudratio Abdukarakov. Oh, hey, there we go. So he is the guy that he is fighting is ranked number 6 by the WBC. So on the undercard of the Gvozdyk Beterbiev, Collazo is fighting the number 6 guy ranked by the WBC at welterweight. Michael Seals, Elio Geraldo Trosh. The only other name that I know on this card, I know the Adorno brothers, and I'm familiar with the kid Sonny Canto because I know Michelle works with him out in Philly. So those are the names I'm familiar with. So we've got that fight happening. So we've got Gvozdyk Beterbiev happening on ESPN next week. On DAZN from Newcastle, Louis Ritson and Robbie Davies Jr. are going to fight in a junior welterweight, WBA junior welterweight eliminator. And let's see what those rankings are for the WBA. That's the Prograis, Barrios, and Ulysses Jr. How are there 3 champions, WBA junior welterweight champions. That makes no sense. The WBA are some whores. They just make belts for and they belong to the streets. Goddamn. Let's see, that's UFC. Golden Boy has a card they're going to do on Facebook Live from Chihuahua, Mexico. Oscar Duarte versus Richard Solano and Francisco Vargas versus Ezekiel Avila. So we got that if you want to watch that. And that's about it. That's about it. So that's about it for me. You know, we went a good 1 hour and 35 minutes. That's pretty cool. I thank everyone for tuning in. I was feeling real chatty patty. I thought I was going to get like power people on the talk, but we talk boxing and I like that. So thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. And I'll probably stream sometime next week, you know, as I learn more about it and get more comfortable, you know, maybe I'll add some accoutrements and or at least get the lighting better. You know, I'm still trying to figure it out. So until next time, everybody, peace.